Joe Tate has come up with a new strategy after uncovering details about Kim Tate's will in Emmerdale. In the previous episode, Graham Foster managed to get hold of Kim's will after taking it from the safe and then passed it on to Joe. As Joe examined the paperwork, he initially believed that Home Farm would naturally be left to him, as he considered it his rightful inheritance. However, he was shocked to discover that Kim had instead decided to leave the estate to Lydia Dingle after her death. This revelation left him quietly seething, while Graham saw it as a positive moment, as it showed that Joe was finally starting to understand Kim's true nature. At the start of the next episode, Lydia arrived at Home Farm ready to begin her cleaning duties, only to be met with Joe's irritation over her slight lateness. In reality, his frustration had little to do with the unfinished chores or her efficiency, and was more about his anger and jealousy regarding Kim's decision. Graham pointed out that Lydia had no influence over Kim's choice, and that directing anger at her would achieve nothing. He made it clear that Kim is the one in control, and if Joe wants to act, he should focus on her, but must do so carefully and strategically. Later that evening, Joe went to the pub, where he apologised to Lydia for his earlier behaviour and even rewarded her with a pay increase. As Lydia later considered that working at Home Farm might actually benefit her by allowing her to keep an eye on Joe, Graham had already figured out his next move. He realised that Joe planned to take advantage of Lydia's close relationship with Kim. Graham was willing to let this plan unfold, but reminded Joe that Lydia was not the real issue, insisting that Kim remained the true obstacle. The question now is what Joe will choose to do next. A former Emmerdale cast member has shared their opinion following the show's surprising storyline twist. Fans have been quick to react after it was announced that Robert Sugden and Aaron Dingle would be taking control of Butler's farm. However, it isn't just viewers discussing the change, as several former actors have also expressed their views. With Moira in prison and Kane dealing with cancer treatment, the opportunistic Tate family stepped in and managed to buy the farm. In an unexpected development, Joe later handed control over to Robert and Aaron, creating a major surprise. Although the storyline is still ongoing, the duo have already promised to bring the farm back to its former success. With a member of the Sugden family returning to take charge, it feels like the true essence of Emmerdale Farm has been restored. Earlier this week, the ITV soap shared news of the shake-up on its official social media accounts, which prompted responses from former cast members Kelvin Fletcher and Adam Thomas, who both reacted on Instagram. Thomas, who portrayed Adam Barton for several years before leaving in 2018, joked that his character would likely be unhappy about the situation at the farm. Meanwhile, Fletcher, known for playing Andy Sugden, said he was pleased with the development and supported the decision. Another former actor, Lyndon Ogborn, who previously played Nathan Wilde, also joined in with a light-hearted comment and even hinted at a possible return. He joked that his character might have something to say about the situation, sparking excitement among fans who said they would love to see him back. The show's producer also spoke about the storyline, explaining that this return to the farm's origins is an important moment that reflects the early days when the Sugden family first worked the land. She added that Robert is determined to succeed in his new role and make his family proud. Alongside his partner Aaron, he is ready to embrace this fresh start and is committed to ensuring the farm thrives once again. Emmerdale viewers are becoming increasingly convinced that DS Walsh may be hiding a darker secret identity. As her investigation continues, she has kept her attention firmly on Moira, Bear, Paddy, and Dylan. While she pushes hard to secure charges against them, many fans are questioning why the actual criminals appear to have been overlooked. Now, some viewers believe they may have figured out what is really happening. Despite evidence that doesn't fully add up, Walsh remains certain that Moira is behind everything connected to Celia and Ray. There is some proof that seems to point toward her involvement. Anya's body was found wrapped in a blanket containing Moira's DNA. Both Anya and Celia were buried on land owned by Moira, and she previously had business connections with Celia. In addition, identification documents were planted at her home. However, there are several inconsistencies in the case. Anya's death was caused by an untreated infection. There would be no reason for Moira's fingerprints to be on the documents, and it seems unlikely she would hide bodies on her own property. Witnesses such as April, Dylan, and Bear could also support her version of events if questioned. Even with these doubts, Walsh appears determined to move forward, leading many to believe her actions go beyond normal police procedure. Attention has increasingly shifted toward Bear, with viewers noticing how much pressure he has been placed under during questioning. Although he is clearly vulnerable and has only recently left a secure mental health facility, Walsh continues to interrogate him intensely, presenting her own narrative and pushing him further. Earlier this week, Bear reached breaking point and falsely confessed to killing Ray on purpose. He claimed he acted alone to protect Paddy and even said he would do it again. This statement has had serious consequences, as his original manslaughter charge has now been upgraded to murder, which carries a life sentence. In a recent episode, Walsh also edges closer to charging Paddy and Dylan. She has consistently treated them as accomplices and appears determined to see them punished. Meanwhile, there has been little urgency when it comes to investigating the wider crimes connected to Ray and Celia. There have been no clear efforts to find additional victims who might support Bear and Moira's accounts, with the investigation staying focused on blaming those already at the centre. Fans have quickly noticed Walsh's behaviour, with many believing her focus on Moira goes beyond the available evidence. Some viewers have questioned why she seems so determined to pin everything on Moira, suggesting her actions feel one-sided and suspicious. Others have expressed frustration, pointing out that she appears overly focused on one suspect while ignoring other possibilities. A popular theory among fans is that Walsh may be corrupt and secretly working for Tate. Some viewers have speculated that her fixation on Moira could be influenced by someone else, possibly suggesting she is being paid or manipulated. Another idea is that she could have a connection to Graham, considering his past involvement with staged events that required police cooperation. There is also speculation that Walsh might have a personal link to either Ray or Celia. Some fans believe she could be related to one of them, while others think she may have been closer to Celia or even involved in their activities. A few viewers have even suggested she could be tied to the wider criminal operation connected to the storyline. Fans have long suspected that a bigger figure is behind everything, still waiting to be revealed. Earlier this month, some theories even pointed toward another character as the possible mastermind. For now, uncertainty around Walsh continues to grow. Whether she is corrupt, personally involved, or simply determined to secure convictions at any cost, viewers remain doubtful about her true motives. Emmerdale is broadcast on weekday evenings at 8 p.m. on ITV1 and is also available to stream on ITVX.